Hey everyone, Techne here with a monitor review. I mean, sheesh, we haven't done a monitor review in so long. I'm so excited and so nervous. I feel like I'm going to be rusty as far as a monitor review, you know? But anyways, the monitor we have today is the MSI Optix MAG271R. Before we pop it open, a few stats. It's 27 inches. It's a VA panel. It has 165 Hz refresh rate. It is 1 millisecond response time, MPRT, which we're going to get into that later, so just remember that one right there. It does have AMD FreeSync right there. I also did read up that some NVIDIA cards work on it. I only use AMD cards, so I can't speak on that, but I did read a lot about it, and people said that they were able to work their compatible NVIDIA cards with it. So again, just look up your card if you're interested in that. It does have some RGB on the back, as you see on the box. We'll get into that later, but you know what? Let's pop it open and see what we get in the box. Alright, so as far as what you get in your box, you're going to get your monitor, you're going to get your stand over here, which comes in two pieces. You can get the arm, and you get the base right here. And let me tell you what, this sucker is extremely heavy duty. Like, you can just sit here and alright, and I'm gassed. But anyway, seriously, that stand is heavy duty. I mean, this sucker's not going to budge around on you. They're going to give you an HDMI cable. You get a whole bunch of unnecessary paperwork over here, registration, and anyways, a whole bunch of paperwork. You get some screws right here which attach your stand, and then right here you're going to get some VESA mountable extenders because the stand kind of goes into the monitor, so you have to put those extenders in there to put your VESA mount. You get external power brick, which is kind of weird. It kind of shocked me why I did have an external power brick, because this guy's a little bit lofty in the back, you know what I mean? It's not real thin. Usually on very thin monitors I notice the external, but anyways, hey, we have that right there. And then you have a power cord that connects into your brick. Oh, wait, and you get a USB cable. All right, so as far as the back of the monitor here, as you can see, you have an audio jack right here, so you're going to plug in some speakers or a headphone. You have two HDMIs, you have a display port, you have two USB ports. This USB in right here, again, is a USB that's going to power our RGB up there, and then this is where you connect your power cord. As you can see, as I spoke about earlier, it is VESA mountable, and it kind of dips in a little bit. So again, that's kind of where you put those VESA mountable extenders and then attach your stand right there. Now over here on this side, as you can see, this little joystick. Whenever we go through the menu later, we're going to be using this joystick. And let me just point out right in the back, I don't know, see how well you guys can see it kind of moving around right there. I'm barely touching it, really. Like, honestly, barely at all. It's just my fingertip right there. No pressure whatsoever. Honestly, I don't really like how it's that easy to move. I've used MSI monitors before with the little joystick, and they've been a lot firmer. I don't know why this one is so loose and wobbly back there. It's honestly pretty tough to navigate the menu with the thing because it's so easy to move right there. And then the MSI logo right back here does bulge out, and you got the little metal plate right there. Alright, so as far as attaching the stand, pretty stinking easy. You get your base, you get your arm. It pretty much slides right into that triangle right there, and then bam, you're set to go. They got a little notch in the bottom so you can screw it in, and bam, you're all set. Now as far as attaching the stand, very, very simple. As you can see up here, we have a couple of teeth right there. Bam, you're just going to pop it in here to the back of the monitor, slide it down, and you are set. Get your two longer screws, pop them in there, screw them down, and that's it. All done. Alright, so let's go on and power it on. I got the lights dimmed here a little bit so I don't have crazy reflections. Now the power button is right underneath here. It's pretty cool because it's not out on the outside or anything. It's hidden right underneath the bottom of the monitor here, pretty much right underneath where that joystick was. Just want to power it up here. That might take a second because it's trying to register from my other monitor over to here. Butter smooth though, really nice and smooth. There we go. So as you can see, as we got it powered on, as you noticed earlier, it is frameless, but you do have a very mild, one of those bezels that's within the screen right there. Very, very, very mild one, but you don't have the massive bezels all around the side, just along the bottom right here. All right, now real quick, before we get into the menu of the monitor or the performance or anything like that, I want to show you the stand. And yes, it does go up and down here. As you see it going down, and then it goes up, and it has some force. Like, you can't just touch it with one finger and it goes down, so it's pretty nice. It'll hold your spot for you right there. And then you can tilt it back and then in right there. Nothing drastic, just about the standard of any other monitor, but you can tilt it and then it goes up and down. Now the real shame with this right here, especially at this price range, what are we right around I think MSRP right around 300. I think I scooped this up for right around 250. But even at that price range, sure, you got some nice stats and specs within the monitor. But I wish the stand, I wish you can go, you know, side to side or maybe a little swivel right there. But you can't. It stays. That's all you can do is up and down, and then in and out right there. No other swivel or anything, which, again, at this price point, I wish it would have had that. As mild as that sounds, I'm sure you can move it on your desk and everything. The stand's pretty small and it's real heavy duty, so it's not really in your way. So, sure, it's maybe being nitpicky, but again, at that price point, I would have preferred that. But anyways, as far as the monitor menus, again, you can control it right with that red joystick I showed you earlier. You press it in, and your whole menu is going to pop up right here. You can adjust your FreeSync. You can actually show your frames, your FPS right up here in the corner of the monitor. Just all sorts of options, your color, your image, all that stuff. But again, controlling with that joystick, it's very soft and kind of just loose back there, where I catch myself going to the wrong menu option that I desire right there. Again, it's just because it's so loose that you really got to kind of hold it real precise and get right to it. So again, maybe that's me being nitpicky, but I wish it was a little bit firmer back there so I can get to my menu options very easily. I tend to go to the wrong option quite often, but that really doesn't matter to me because honestly, I don't use it anymore because you have the MSI, the Gaming OSD right here. It's a little software you can download from MSI, and you can control all of this stuff right on the cool little app right there, which is what we're going to cover. So let's go and swing over there and take a look at the menu that way, because let me tell you what, it's awesome. Alright, so as you can see right now, we are in the MSI Gaming OSD right here. And again, this is pretty much the exact same menu that you're going to get in the monitor, controlling it by that joystick right back there. But so much more easy to use, and I really just love it. Everything's on it. Everything that's on the monitor, you can adjust right here. And again, just at the flick of your mouse, I really love it. First off, let me start up here. As you can see, we are on user, but this is really cool. Press this little plus button right there, and you can create a different profile. So set all your settings, whatever, bam, and you'll just have a different profile right to the flick of your mouse right there within this app. I just love that. Again, if you're playing a different game, you have all your presets over here, which you can just click on, which me personally, I'm not a very big fan of presets, but if you are, you have them. None of them ever on any monitor really look good to me. I mean, some of them are decent, but I'll tell you what, on this monitor, I didn't like any of them right there. But again, you can adjust everything right here. As you see, your temperature and everything, your response time. It's just, you got your little reticle that you can put on your screen if you're into that cheating and stuff. Your source, I don't know why it has an alarm clock. I guess if you want to limit your playtime or something. But again, it's just so cool that you can adjust everything right here, and it's so easy to use. I love it. Alright, so let's get into talking about some of the performance. And number one, like I mentioned in the beginning, that 1 millisecond MPRT. First off, what is MPRT? That's motion picture response time. And they do that in a lot of VA panels. Actually, my main monitor, my LG 144Hz 1440p LG monitor is VA, and you use MPRT as well. And what that does is kind of causes like a little flicker in the background. It's so fast that you can barely notice it. Now, if any of you have watched my previous MSI monitor review, the little curved one, it was like my first or second video. So hey, don't go back and watch that one. It's not too good. But anyways, that MPRT, again, it causes that flicker. And as far as a curved monitor, I noticed it a lot on that previous MSI one. But again, with this one or with my LG, with the VA with MPRT 1 millisecond, I don't notice it at all. Like, I honestly cannot notice it one single bit. So it looks really crisp. But again, talking at MPRT, it is kind of like, just kind of like a little fake talk right there. They want to put that 1 millisecond to make us feel good, right? But anyways, when you get down to it, the graded gray rate on this monitor is 4, is what I read up on, right? Again, it goes the same with pretty much a lot of the VA panels. So get that true 1 millisecond graded gray on VA or IPS, you're going to be spending some serious bucks, you know? But as far as solid graded gray, you're right at 4 on this monitor. And one other thing I want to talk about as far as performance on this monitor, now this may just be my experience, again, straight out the box, plugging it in and getting to playing and just dabbling around online, watching videos and stuff, the colors were off quite a bit. Now, I don't know if that's, again, because I'm plugging it into my monitor and I'm playing on a 1440p monitor, so I had to go into my Windows setting and really calibrate my display settings right there and adjust it all, get into the monitor and adjust it all, because right off the bat it was quite yellow, and then when I started adjusting colors more, it brought out too much red and it looked like whatever video I was watching, the person had a suntan. So I really had to sit down for a while and really fine-tune the colors. Again, that's speaking my situation, because I don't know if my PC is just calibrated to the 1440p. I mean, yeah, sure, you go in there and you set it to 1080 and you set it to 165. Sure, we got all of that, but as far as basic PC calibration right there, my colors were off. But again, I don't know if that was because I'm using a 1440p monitor and I'm going to a 1080p. I don't know, but again, I had to get in there and really adjust and dabble with the colors, because straight out the box, for me, it looked pretty bad. But after you started dabbling with those colors, fine-tuning it, wow, it sure did shine. The other thing as far as performance is 165 hertz refresh rate right there. And let me tell you, straight off the bat, it is butter smooth and it looks fantastic. Now, the one thing you might be asking yourself is, do you notice the difference? But the thing you got to ask yourself right there is, do you know the difference from what? Are you coming from a 75 hertz or a 60 hertz, or like myself, again, I game on a 144 hertz monitor. So me going from 144 hertz to 165, I don't notice a single difference, not one bit. But again, if you're coming from like a 60 or even a 75, you're going to notice a gigantic difference. You know what I mean? Like very, very big difference. Like it's almost like seriously that big where it's night and day going from 60 hertz up to, again, 144, or with this monitor here at 165. You're going to notice a massive difference, and you're going to be very, very happy with the quality of your display. Now, as far as the RGB on the back right here, as you can see on the monitor, it is all controlled through MSI Mystic lighting. Like if you ever used an MSI motherboard or anything like that, exact same thing. You can sync it up with your motherboard or any other MSI products like that, and there's absolutely a massive amount that you can do with this, whether it be effects or colors or anything. You set it on a basic solid color and make it just stay static right there. Again, there's a massive amount of effects right there. And me personally, when I was purchasing a monitor, I said, well, that's kind of cheesy. Who wants RGB on a monitor, right? It's almost like how you say, who wants RGB on a headset, right? But honestly, when you get it and it's just there, it's really cool, especially if your desk is up against the wall and you got the lights kind of dim and you got this effect going back there, or even if you got it on a solid, like say red or blue or whatever, and it just comes off the back of your wall above your setup right there. It's honestly pretty stinking cool. Alright, one other thing I want to talk about here, and this is kind of talking about the size of the monitor, 27 inches. I know some of you may be asking, well, hey man, is 27 inches okay for 1080p? You know, everywhere online people say, oh no, stick with 24, 25 inch for 1080p. Others say 27 inch is like the max that you want to go for 1080p, and I agree with that right there. Don't go above 27 inch, but 27 inch is perfectly fine at 1080p. Again, we're on a VA panel here, so our colors were really nice and crisp. You know, you got the high refresh rate. Everything is still butter smooth right here. Going from 24 to this 27 here, it's so minimal. I doubt any of us could even tell. I couldn't tell, you know what I mean? Sure, if you go higher, you're going to tell a big difference with the 1080p right there. But again, with the combination of the refresh rate and the VA panel and everything at the 27 inch at 1080p, it looks perfectly fine. It really does. Butter smooth, very crisp. Again, I think you'd be very happy with this 27 inch here. Me personally, I'd prefer the 27 over a 24. Alright, so all in all, my take on the MSI MAG271R, I really like it. Again, there's a lot packed into it. At first I was kind of thinking, okay, well maybe I'm buying fluff because that RGB on the background right there, which is really cool. You don't know, I don't believe in paying for RGB, but honestly here, I don't feel like you're paying too much for it, you know, if even. But again, you're talking at 165, you're talking to 1 millisecond MPRT, so let's say 4 gray to gray, and then, you know, 27 inches, VA panel, the awesome stand. Sure, the stand, I wish it had some swivel right there, but hey, whatever, it'll still move around on your desk right there. You know, it's just, I really feel like you got a lot of performance packed into this guy for that price tag of $250, you know, and it's always been at $250. At $299 MSRP, no, I don't recommend it because you open up such a massive window right there. But again, at $250, I feel like it's a great grab. Catch it even lower than that, and it's a steal, you know what I mean? Again, I think there's so much packed into it, even if you're using it for, like, say, video editing or photo editing, because you got the VA panel right there, your colors are real crisp and real sharp. You know, your blacks are really dark and your brights is just, it's really solid. Again, you have to get in there, or at least for me, I had to get in there and really adjust a lot of my settings to get it right. But after I got it set, it was really solid. And like I said, I think some of the goofy stuff, like I said, that RGB, I just think it's super cool. And at $250, I think it's not too bad. But hey, let me know what you think about this monitor here. Again, I was kind of iffy because my previous experience with the MSI monitor was kind of, you know what I mean? But again, I got to put all that with the MPRT, with the curved monitor right here. Again, we got just a straight flat monitor here, 27 inches. I really love this monitor. I'm pretty stinking happy with it here. But hey, let me know down in the comments what you think of it. But hey, thank you so much for watching this one. I highly appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for some future tech videos. Hey, I hope I catch you in the next one. Bye now.